Hi, I'm Lucas Mack. I'm a former TV reporter, a published author, TEDx speaker, musician, advertising agency owner, and management consultant. I'm also a former Christian preacher who dedicated 15 years of my life searching for truth and love. I've done a lot of work to heal, and I'm on a mission to see the hurting get healed and the healed go out and heal others, in order for all of us to experience the true love and light we desire. This podcast is me sharing my journey with you, so you don't feel alone in your journey. Welcome to the Golden Rule Revolution. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Golden Rule Revolution. I am Lucas Mack, and it is such a pleasure having you join today. I am excited because today I'm bringing back Lore Martinez. She is a PhD, a psychologist, but has also turned into a holistic healer. After having her on the first time, we talked about the Akashic Records, and I did an Akashic Records session with her. It was so powerful. And at the end of this, we're going to give away a free reading with Lore. So make sure you stay tuned. I had the most incredible Akashic Record session with you. Incredible. And
wow.
Thank you. Thank you for coming back on the podcast, and thank you for sharing your gifts with the world.
Well, thank you for creating this space for people to come in and share our perspective, our lens. We're all so unique, and all our souls are so perfect.
Yeah.
We have that uniqueness to everyone. So I think that it's amazing that you have this podcast.
It's so cool. It's been really beautiful to see people, the audience grow around the world, different countries, people listening, and there is a massive awakening right now all around the world. We've been talking about it. We even referenced it last time you were on, but like right now, present moment, the veil is being lifted. People are seeing, and it's incredible. How are you, or what have you been experiencing, and what are you seeing during this time?
What I have been experienced with, first, like with myself. So with myself, at the beginning of the year, I felt very lost. So lost, like what's gonna happen with us, what's gonna happen with the world. And because I have a toddler, of course, I fell into the trap of that fear.
Yeah.
So at the beginning of, my husband lost his job for a little bit, so we were like, what? It was very scary. But I feel that now that it's just like this snowball that, starts very little, doesn't really go that fast. But I feel like as the year has passed, this huge snowball of awakening is going bigger and faster, and people is realizing that you can either connect with fear or with love and compassion. And that's what shifts the experience for you.
Right.
So when I decided to shift is when I feel more like at peace and excited to see what is coming for us.
That I think this is the year where everyone will choose to let go of fear. And some are right now experiencing their greatest fears. Other of us, we've experienced it earlier this year, but truly, even the past 2 weeks, I've had the deepest traumas get cleared. Stuff that I consciously couldn't even bring to the surface myself. Like I had something triggered it, and I don't have to carry that anymore. And I wasn't even really it was just what I'm sharing is everything's coming out, everything's healing, everything's clearing, and stuff that even people thought perhaps that they've dealt with things in the past, but there was still just a little bit of vibration left with that. It's getting cleared out right now.
So yeah, and it's so nice that you said that, because a lot of the patients that I'm seeing, or my clients, or my, I don't know, these beautiful people that trust me with their healing process, what I'm seeing is that karmatic information, ancestral information coming up and being triggered. And what I think is really beautiful is that right now we have, I feel like the elections have become this place where archetypes are triggering the collective.
Yes.
So if we look further from sites, colors, whatever, is the archetypes that needed to come out to trigger the things within you that needed to come out.
Yeah.
And that goes also for COVID. Like this whole year is triggering, trigger after trigger.
Yeah, seriously. And this year, next year, I really believe 20 is going to be like a rocket ship takeoff. We're going to ascend so quickly. Even, do you know the Schumann resonance? Do you follow? So even the Schumann resonance account today said, like, basically evolve, or ascend with the frequency, or basically dissolve. I was like, wow, I've never seen them say something so direct, but this is it. Like,
the Mayans, it's super funny because I came across the Mayan prophecies when I was like 5. And I was super interested. It was like it called to me. My mom was talking about it, and I wanted to dig in more and more. But the Mayans said exactly what you're saying. They said it in a different way, but it said like the metaphor would be like a radio. If you're not in the right frequency, it's kind of like it's gonna fry your circuits.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And it's not to scare people. It's not like it's gonna drop dead. No, it's that it's more like you will be in another dimension, meaning your perspective and your interpretation of life is gonna stay in a very basic, linear 3D. So it's not that it's something bad is gonna happen to you, but it's more like you're gonna miss out on so much.
Yeah.
That's the sad part.
Yeah.
That's the fry part.
And it is so, even with the election process, and I'm not sure when this is going to air, hopefully soon, but people are celebrating and rejoicing as like my side won or your side lost. And what's being removed is the sides. There are no sides. We are one beautiful human consciousness. We are collective. We are, yes, sovereign individuals, but our species is healing as one right now. And sadly, I feel like people that just have yet, maybe they're young souls, maybe they're here to learn the non-waking up when everyone wakes up. But for those waking up, it's like, this is the greatest time ever to be alive, ever. I feel like people are like, how you doing? I'm like, truly amazing. Truly amazing.
Like, I mean, poop comes out every day.
Yeah.
Because we get triggered. It happens almost on a daily basis, but I'm happy because it's like I can see the cleansing and the growing going so fast.
Yeah.
And the beauty is that you are maybe allowing it to flow. So that's why even if you're there and it's messy, you feel good because you're allowing that like dirty water to flow away.
Yes.
Instead of like holding it in because I don't want to change.
Right.
And so the water gets more stuck and it hurts more and it confuses you more. So I think flowing is a perfect word for those that maybe are not feeling so great. Just kind of check with yourself, what is that something or the trigger that needs to be let go of. Just let it go. Just surrender to the process.
That's right. Yeah. That's right.
because it's most likely for the best.
With your clients that you're seeing, is there a overarching theme that people are dealing with or struggling with right now?
Yes. I would say probably 98% of the people I'm seeing, men and women, are coming, and when we go into their Akashic records, we find I just got chills, that they need to integrate the healthy masculine within themselves.
Wow.
So it's been a lot of healing the masculine, allowing the healthy masculine coming into your heart and unite within yourself with your feminine, because we all have both energies.
Yes.
So we can be complete again.
That is really beautiful. That also is where the concept of spirit, universe, is God, as the father, as it's not the man, he's not a male, he's not, God is not, it's masculine from above connecting with feminine, from, Mother Earth, and that union. And there's no accident that we have two, like you said, archetype males characters playing out right now. People perceive one as harsh, they think Trump is harsh and evil, and they think Biden is gentle and kind, traditional is this, and perhaps they're actually swapped outside of, the public personas are one thing and their private personas are another, but either way, it's triggering people's need to heal the masculine. That is the masculine. Yes, that is really cool.
And it all comes from the fact that for a while it was reclaim the divine feminine, bring back the divine feminine, let the divine feminine take control, because for the longest time our society was taken by masculine energies, but unhealthy.
Yeah, that's right.
And masculine energies that wanted power more than anything, that wanted to impose themselves, their ideas, what they wanted to do. And now it's about, okay, we have been bringing up the divine feminine within ourselves, and now it's time to bring the healthy masculine and put them together in your heart. And I think it's so beautiful for those that are Catholic, and I don't know if any other religions have this. There is this image of Jesus, and there's a lot of them, but there's from his heart you can see a blue light and a like pink, reddish, like magenta light coming out of his heart. What it represents is divine feminine and masculine coming together to ascend.
Wow. So beautiful.
That's what we're doing.
So with I had the most incredible session with you. I mean, that's not even the word. It was heavenly. It was heavenly. And for those who maybe have never heard about the Akashic Records, or have heard of it but don't really understand what it is, can you explain what the Akashic Records are and how they're accessed, and then we can get into a little bit more of like what I experienced with you?
Yes. So the Akashic Records, if you go, you find like different definitions for it, but the most like general definition is Akash is ether in Sanskrit. So ether, Akash is like the same, but just different languages. Also, what is so beautiful about Akashic Records is that a lot of people says Akashic Records or the Book of Life. So when you know about the Bible and other religions that have talked about the Book of Light, and then you bring it into this more like Buddhism current, they're equivalent. So basically the Akashic records are the Akash is the ether, is the energy that everything is made of. You are made of energy. You are a material being, but even if you look at your material being, you find after zooming in and zooming in and zooming in that you are energy.
Yes.
Everything is energy. Your desk, your computer, everything in the universe is energy. So that's the Akash. So when we talk about the Akashic Records, we're talking about the whole information of the universe. It's imprinted in the ether. It's imprinted on the trees, the animals, in your soul. So when we access the Akashic Records, we are accessing the information particular to the being that we are open the files for or records for. So it could be a person, it could be your pet, it could be even your house. Like if you have a house that you like, you're not sure if you want to buy it, like you can open the records of this property, because there's people that have lived in these properties, for example, so their energy has been imprinted. So this house has been imprinted with this energy. Another beautiful thing about Akashic Records, and this is what I love when you don't just get married with one ideology or doctrine, when you give yourself permission to explore. So when I do family constellations therapy is based on the theory that we all share a quantum field. So in this quantum field that you emanate, you also create a quantum field with the persons you create relationship with. So the dynamics in the relationship, the story of both people, if they met in another life, if they had conflict in another life, that morphic field, that quantum field they've shared is also Akash, which means it's also readable. And it's just beautiful because you have access to the knowledge of you, because you more normally will come and open the files for you, but it's not just 3D knowledge. And this is where you will tell me how it was for you. It wasn't like, oh yeah, you are an excellent architect and you'll do great buildings. Yeah. It's about who you are as a light being. Yeah. And what your mission is here, your blueprint is. It comes to remind you. That's what I love about this. It comes and brings you up into this dimension, like you said, very high vibration, and reminds you of who you really are before all the fear was installed in the society, before all the doctrines, before all the labels were installed. It reminds you of that.
It was so beautiful. It was so beautiful and so healing. So healing. It was incredible. I'm just looking at you, of all these people I've had on. It's interesting. And I think this is the 3D versus the 5D shift as well. You know, when we were growing up, like in Hollywood, they make like the people that are spiritual, and even on TV or talk shows, they made like the spiritual people, gray haired, kind of dense energy. They looked, woo-woo, but I'm looking at you, me, all the people I have on. The light beings are truly light, like beautiful expressions. And it is so antithetical to what the 3D existence was telling us. Like, the witch with the crooked nose and the warts and the scariness, like accessing these things. And like, that is just as much a lie as anything else that the 3D world had explained. And so I know I'm just looking at you and reflecting on one of the recent podcasts I had. Someone said about the person that was on, Tracy Clark, they said, oh, I thought she was going to be a really old woman with like short hair, and she's this beautiful, like long blonde haired woman. And it's just, I don't know, it's striking to me that authenticity and truth and life and beauty are all being revealed right now. And and it's just a tremendous thing. So I just wanted to share that while I'm just hearing you talk and just remembering the experience. It was so powerful, and I cried a lot. It was, I just have had so much pain. It's interesting. Our session led to, then I did a breathwork session like a week later. And that was the first time I stayed in my body. Like I went back to when I was born, and I didn't leave my body, and I was able to, so our session enabled that healing, led me to go this breathwork session, which led to 2 weeks ago, when everything came out. It's just
finally
beautiful. Finally. Yes.
flows.
And I couldn't have done it myself. This is why going, and everyone, please sign up with Lori, take a session and do the healing work. There's so many beautiful modalities. And like you said, it's not one doctrine or one, it's our session helped me with the breath work session, which helps me with these other things that I've done, and the plant medicines, and going to the Bible and reading the Mayan and the Hopi prophecy, and like being sovereign and whole starts with us not dividing ourselves any longer, but fully integrating. And I'm just sharing that. It was such a beautiful session with you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I just want to remind you that I told you that we have for you to put in the golden rule to have a big giveaway. So people, stay tuned. There's one coming for.
That is so. That's right. We are going to give away. Lori was so generous to give away a reading to an audience member. So we are going to put more details in that. And I want everyone to experience it. I want everyone to experience it with you. It was really beautiful.
We can have also like a special fee for people that come through you.
Oh, thank you.
Like a super loving session. I'm just gonna say 55 because next year is 5, and 5 represents change.
Beautiful. Okay, yeah. Well, we'll put all that in. Yeah. What are you seeing in the realm? Yeah. When you're leading these, that's one of the questions I had for you.
Oh my God. I feel so privileged because going into the Akash, when I do the session with the person that I'm with. So first there's something that we all need to know. Different healers, we all have different energies because we all have different blueprints. So don't give up on healers. If you try one and you didn't really click, just keep searching because we all have like our uniqueness. So in my case is that I connect immediately with your higher self. I don't necessarily go. Sometimes it happens because the energy would present itself, that energy that is necessary for you to heal in that moment. So a lot of people go asking in the Akashic Records, like, was I an Egyptian priestess? Was I in Atlantis or Lemuria? Like that information might come true if it's relevant. But in my case, is that we connect with your higher self. And I start, after we talk and we get a few questions, because you can ask questions, we go into this meditation journey. So this is something that is unique to me too. I ask our guides and your masters to guide us through a healing, activating DNA, quantum healing meditation. So I have Reiki training, family constellation, and Akashic Records and psychology. Which I love is that the universe allow me to put all that together into a meditation that then I send to you so you can do for a couple of weeks. But when I go in that journey, in that meditation journey with you guys, I go there. Like I see everything so clearly. And I love that because they allow me to go with you, also to take care of your field, to take care of your energy, so nothing else can penetrate. Nothing apart from love can penetrate your energetic field in that moment. But the journeys that I go through, the things that I've been shown, the places, the temples, the tools to heal, I feel that with every person, as they heal, I heal and I grow. And whenever we're done, I feel as grateful to them as you might feel with me. I feel like, no, thank you for letting me see the world through different eyes and integrate the beauty of you in me. So I am less judgmental. So I am more compassionate. I love that.
I'm really excited for everyone to sign up with you. It is truly, it felt, I think just to summarize it, it was unconditional love, and to heal in that unconditional love and to feel that unconditional love. And, it's so beautiful. You know, being raised in Christianity and hearing about the Book of Life, and I've really been talking a lot about this with people in the past week. We somehow, and I'm not yet clear on if it's the actual religious narrative or if it's media, and it might be a mixture of both because they both originate probably from the same place. But it's like the book of Revelation says that God's going to send two witnesses, Moses and Elijah, in the last days in Jerusalem, and they're going to do these things. And then people think, well, we're not at the end of the age because I haven't seen it happen. And I said, do you think the media is going to tell you? Like, what am I sharing with this? Is like the Book of Life, you hear about the Book of Life, and then it's felt like this, something so separate. It's like something way away in heaven, and we're here and we just have to wait, and there's no connection or integration. But that is not the case. It's here now. We accessed it together. It was incredible what you brought me through without me giving you any information. Was so healing that I think this is the awakening, is that all these spiritual technologies and gifts and tools and temples are here now, accessible now. And people keep waiting for a Messiah to return or someone to appear. And it's like, no, it's already appeared now. Like, access now. I guess that's the way I feel like everyone's waiting to be told what to do or when to be. And what the awakening is like, no, right now we can access the eternal records. We can.
Exactly. I love that you said that because as I was doing my research, because I wanted to bring another little details to this, is that the Akash also in the past, when they were trying to work the alchemy, they were trying to make other like, I don't know, like what's the name, metals. They were trying to make other metals gold through alchemy. They were talking about the ether in the Akash. They were talking about it as the fifth element, and we have also heard about the fifth element. There's a really good movie about it.
Yes, that's right.
And something super beautiful that it came to me as I was reading this, because when I was reading it said the fifth element is not hot or cold, it's not solid, it's not liquid, it's both. It's so cool. The fifth element, the ether, the Akash, is where you go and find unity. You get out of the polarity interpretations, good, bad, hot, cold, and then you get in contact with the whole, everything there is. And when you are also there, And if you come in because maybe you are hurting from a relationship, or you're hurting for because you had some trauma, difficult trauma with your family or outside your family, when you're in that place of no polarity, not judgment, then you can see the information more clearly for you to heal. And it's not to say that it's okay that he or she did that. No, it's not to excuse them for what they've done. It's to come out of polarity and see what that has brought into your life, what that means for your growth, looking at it from a different perspective, not what they did to me, but what that situation has sparked within me.
Yes.
And to say that the other day I wrote this on Instagram or something where you don't know, do you know how much it takes for a star to shine?
No.
A lot of darkness.
Yes.
So I love that about interpretation.
Yeah.
In the Akash, you interpret things differently. Like you kind of get out of your ego and you're like, I know what this had to happen so I can shine more, so I can speak my truth, so I can be a leader for other ones. So many things that would have not happened if we wouldn't have had that trauma. I include myself there. I wouldn't be a healer.
Right.
I don't think so.
That is I think when we get to that place, that's when we know we're healed. At least on the healing journey, not necessarily that we'll ever until, whatever happens, until the ascension really happens. But to say, to give thanks for, had I not been violated as a little boy and had that pain and that shame and the fear and the being afraid I was going to be killed and by all this terribleness, I couldn't be who I am today to truly not hurt people, but to love and be permission for people to heal. And I wouldn't have compassion. I would have anger. And one of the things that I've been asking a lot of people about, therapists, I want to ask you this, is what is, I find there's two paths that people can go on. They can externalize the pain or internalize the pain. For me, I internalized the pain. I hurt myself. I was picking my skin to the point where it was terrible. I mean, anorexia, suicide attempt, over and all these things over and over and over. And then some people externalize the pain, hurt other people, use other people, take other people. What do you think? What is that? I don't know what that is, but that to me is observationally fascinating.
I think it comes to, again, either is how you interpret the archetype. The archetype will be the person that took advantage of you, that hurt you. So I feel like depending on who you are, you would either choose the road of the victim or the road of the
perpetrator or
perpetrator.
Yeah.
So I think that's the two options. So you either go inward, this happened to me, and you start kind of questioning yourself, why is that it happened to me? Am I not special enough for someone to have come and rescue me and prevent this from happening? You go inside and start questioning your worthiness, how important you are to this world. And so you assume the victim, I'm not worth enough. And these all unconscious. If I'm hurting myself and I'm going inwards, it means that I'm questioning all this, but I'm not necessarily making these questions. I'm just feeling them in my body. And when people take the other road of the perpetrator, then they're not questioning their worth, but they're saying, okay, so this is how it works. now I'm gonna make people.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do to people what they did to me, because no one is important. No one is worthy. It's not just me. It's like no one else deserves love or respect. They just put it outside and hurt others. So I think it's like that. You choose the archetype. And I love that. I love the tarot and I love Jung, because archetypes and how much we can learn and interpret from them. And our society is full of archetypes, and they both have their light and their shadow. So you choose how you're going to react to that. Go to the shadow or the archetype, or go to the light, go inward, or go and reflect that pain onto others, because the perpetrator had to go through a lot of pain.
Right. Yeah. 100%. Yes. That's
they are.
And yeah, whether you go in or out, the adage is true that hurt people hurt people. It's just, who are they hurting? Are they hurting themselves going in and that victim? But even a victim hurts people by default, or are they intentionally going outward and hurting other people? And maybe hurting themselves by default. So everyone gets hurt when there's pain, when there's hurt. Yeah.
Everyone gets hurt. And I think because in psychology and my psychology school, we know that, like, I think it was in 1995, where a very high percentage of people that were abusers is because they were abused in their childhood.
Yeah.
So it's, again, is that morphic field that was created, that Akash, that information that was created in that lineage that kept being passed on and passed on and passed on. And it could be, for example, that is so powerful that the dad, to give you an example, is a super cool guy, but then the mother divorced and gets married with another guy that could be that person that is going to bring up again the information. He's an archetype, but it's also a reminder, hi, this has been here for a while, it needs to be healed. Someone needs to stop it. So that's also what the Akash, that information that could be called karma, is there. When it appears again, it's like, hi, here again, to remind you.
That's great.
Someone else in the lineage, because it appeared maybe here with the grandparents, and then it reappear with our parents, and then reappear with us. And it's like the energy just wants to be acknowledged and wants to be accepted. Like, okay, I don't agree that this happened, but I see you.
Right.
I see you as energy. But here and now, and I do this in a lot of my meditations, I'm telling you that I'm going to write a different story. You are you, I am I, and I am going to write a different story.
That's right.
And the energy, the Akash, is so, it gets imprinted with the information so easily that just like doing these meditations, quantum trips that I call quantum journeys for a couple of weeks could have a very big impact in your life, in your epigenetics. It goes to your unconscious. It goes there, reprogram, and then it becomes epigenetic. So your children don't have to repeat that story anymore.
That's right. And that that is worth everything.
Yes, I know.
Everything. That is worth everything. That's when we say I give my life for my children. I'd also give my life for my children, meaning, yeah, it's easy to die. I think it's easier to die as someone who's attempted suicide. It's easier to die. That's the easy thing. It's like, well, would I die? Yeah. Yeah, you would die. But can you live? And giving life for our children is to say the pain stops with me, that nothing and nowhere and no stone will be left unturned. I will look at it all. And for me, even just 2 weeks ago, I have felt like I have healed so much and cleared so much and gone, oh, sorry, it's breaking up a little bit. I have gone through so much healing and so much clearing. And my wife said something to me 2 weeks ago that was like a nuclear tipped arrow that penetrated my heart. And she didn't say anything mean. It was so sensitive. She asked me this question that shattered the last vestige of protection that I had over this deep secret that I've been carrying for so long. And I consciously, I mean, I knew, because I'm always kicking the thoughts out and dealing with all this stuff, but to finally say, to say yes and to remember these things. And I describe it as I had this like great pyramid that it was just the desert, and everyone's like, wow, everything's been cleared away except the pyramid. And then I had hid the secret in the king's chamber in the great pyramid so no one could ever find it. And my wife just came in with the perfect thing to say, and it just obliterated it all in the best way. And why I'm sharing that in that way is that even when we make the choice to say, yeah, I will face everything, I will, sometimes it's just the willingness to face everything, because some stuff is so subconscious or so buried that it takes another person. That's why being in unity, that's why being in relationship, that's why you and I connecting, others connecting, bringing people together, because sometimes we can't perform physical surgery on ourselves. It's the same with spiritual surgery. We can't just go in and, oh, I'm going to cut in here. And like, because we're not sadists. We're not insane. We need help. We need another person to guide us through that. And it's worth everything. It's the most beautiful thing.
And we need others to be our mirrors. That's why, especially our partners, especially our spouses and like really close friends, become your mirror. So they're there again to remind you of the things that need to be healed. And it's not like they're doing it on purpose, because they're not like trying to hurt you. They're just there as mirror because they're connected to you. So they're connected to your Akash, to your quantum field. So that, again, the information wants to be seen. So the information is going to find the character to help you realize that there's something there to be looked at, to be healed, to go deeper into. And it's not necessarily bad. Sometimes there's someone that could be mirroring something that makes you feel like uncomfortable, and it could be just like, might be that you have a hidden talent that you are discovering through that person.
Right. Yeah, that's a great point.
So it's not bad. It's wonderful. But whenever I have a discussion with my spouse now I'm like more conscious of that. I'm like, first, before I explode like a Latina that I am,
a spice.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, hold on. Why? And then I start with the why. Why am I feeling like this? Because he said this and that. Then, but why? Why am I feeling insecure about this? But why? Like I start going, why? Until I'm very lucky enough to sometimes realize, like, you know what? I have some poo-poo here.
Yeah, there's some, and it's time to clean it.
It's time to lift up that carpet and clean it for good.
That's right.
And the other thing you said about our kids and about the karma and this information that we bring forward into our quantum fields in relationship and in our kids. Right now, we are in a moment. In 2012, the karma law was canceled. No longer exists. The higher beings, the higher hierarchies, that was a game of the dark. The karma wheel was a way to keep us in the hurt each other's, hurt each other's, because it was profitable for them to keep us in the loop of keep doing the same old, same old.
Yeah.
Then in 2012, it was also part of the Mayan prophecies. Another portal opened and they clear that. No more karma. You're not going to pay for anything in the past. No more karma. But there is still some like momentum of that energy in our unconscious mind. So what we have to clear now is not necessarily the karma, it's the belief that we have to pay for what our ancestors did or for what we did. So that's really beautiful if you think about it, because then now it's like, if you go and clean that, if you go and like really go and let that flow and get rid of these low energy vibration, emotions, thoughts, energies within your field, they're clear for good.
Yes. And you know, I can attest to that. So I'll share a little bit of the story. So 2 weeks ago on a Saturday, my wife asked me something that just, it truly shattered me. And Saturday night, I didn't sleep at all. I was angry. I was hurt. And I have lived with so much self-hatred without minimizing like hatred of myself, of my body, and all these things. And just every time I went to the bathroom, every time I showered, I just hated myself. I mean, even when I'm doing this podcast and talking about love and like having these sessions, so much things have healed, but there was like this last like thing that I would just kick to the side and kick away, kick to the side and kick away. And I drove up to the mountains. I left on a Monday in the morning. I just left the house and I wasn't sure if I was going to come back. I was really in darkness. And I called my brother because I thought, well, someone needs to know where I am. And I told my brother what I was struggling with, and I'm bawling, angry, just like, fuck you, God, like you fucking, like I was so angry, just And my brother said, "Oh, I have the same flashbacks. I have the same memories." And I was like, "What?" And I was like, "I didn't." And what made me hate myself, he said, "You know, I've just decided that I'm just going to enjoy myself for who I am." And without going into further detail, it was like I was in complete pitch black in like a stadium. That's what I felt like. I was in this huge stadium. It was piercing black. And all of a sudden, like an LED light like flicked on in the upper deck. And I was like, what is that? Just him saying something a little differently than what I was experiencing helped me climb out of this darkness. I go home. Got back into with my therapist. I had all these coaching calls and breathwork sessions lined up last week. Divinely placed. The people that were leading it, they had dealt with stuff. I mean, it was like perfectly timed, and I faced it all and I cleared it all. And I woke up this past Saturday so calm in my body, so still. It was like nothingness. Like I felt calm for the very first time in my life, and on Sunday and to this day. And why I bring all that up is when they bring up these other things, or when we're experiencing these things, let them go. Let them flow, like let it go out so that we can be in this time. Maybe I lost track of where I was going a little bit, but just
no, you didn't lose track. We were talking about how karma and clearing.
Oh yes, and clearing and letting, and finally it's the final facing. Thank you for this time that it came up, and I won't have to. My kids aren't going to have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with it anymore, and I feel completely calm, and the self-hatred has gone away. And I can look at those things and say, okay, yeah, those happened to me, and I'm here, and I have compassion and empathy for people all around the world who've experienced the same things or similar or less or whatever, but we're all going to heal. We are all okay. We didn't come this far just to be left this far, you know?
No. Imagine how, how powerful your life has to be to go through that and still be shining light for others. That's not a tiny itty bitty star. That's a pretty big star. So whenever, I don't think you experience that again, but whenever someone is experiencing that darkness, just realize that not everybody can experience really darkness. And if you were placed in that place, it's because you have the tools and you have the strength and the light within you to go through it. Just reach out again.
Just reach out. Yeah.
Reach out to others.
Yeah.
Give you that little light, that little.
Yeah. The little flicker. It was like.
Yeah.
And then I could climb out of it. Yeah. Yeah.
We're not alone. I can tell you that when you're a healer, you realize that you're not the only one that got hurt.
Right. That's right. That's right.
And we can come up from that. So I just think, and I told you that in the last podcast about the butterfly. The butterfly, when it's a caterpillar, goes into the cocoon and it has to liquidify itself. It becomes liquid, like it dissolves itself before it can be a butterfly.
Yes.
So I always think about that image, and I think about the beauty that comes out of that cocoon.
Yes.
That's what we are. That's what we're doing also as a collective. We're in that cocoon right now.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Yeah, we are. Oh, yes, we are. It's so beautiful. I'm so excited for you to work with whoever is the special soul that gets to work with you. And all the others, but the one that we give away for sure is going to be so beautiful.
It's going to be divinely guided.
Yeah.
I'm sure that the person that's going to come through is going to be the one that needs that information.
Yes.
And that moment, that journey. I'm very, very happy to see who's that winning soul.
Same. As we continue through the rest of the year and moving into 2021, what are some words of advice or tools, or what can people bring with them or expect so that they feel grounded during this time?
So the first thing that I want to say, like 2 or 3 things that are really amazing messages that come through that really have made me feel better. The first thing is that next year it's number 5. So if you add the numbers together, so this year is 2020 is 4, the next year is 5. 5 is change. So this was the beginning of the change, but next year we're going to continue into that energy, and it's going to be amplified of change. Systems are going to keep falling. Right now, we're kind of seeing the political system crumble.
Yes.
It's not that Donald is good, Biden is bad, this one is bad. No, it's that it needed to be shown to us that the system as a system is corrupt.
Yes, that's right.
Not working for the higher good of society. And we've seen this in other countries. Like, I just think of Latin America.
Right.
Political system, it's corrupt.
It's devastating. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So we're going to keep seeing systems, unfair systems crumbling. That might include banking. Religion. Yeah. Health.
Yeah.
They're going to start crumbling, and we're going to start building systems that are fair, that are going to vibrate higher, that are really going to be for the good of the people. Because as we are start getting all these light codes and ascending within us, we're not gonna need government anymore to tell us what to do, because within ourselves we're gonna know what's right. We're gonna know what is good. No one is gonna have to come from the outside and tell us, because that spark of God is getting like shinier and shinier. So we're gonna know how to behave with each other. We're gonna know how to be just and compassionate, just because it's our nature. That was the original plan.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I went for a walk this morning, and I just blessed the earth with love and light and in healing. I just was walking my hands out, and I just like, this earth, the human collective, we get to, it's like this foul stench is being released right now, and this beautiful, beautiful fragrance is like, it's just coming in, and that release, which is beginning, is going to be incredible.
And the earth, it's a jewel. The earth is such the plan that God had for this earth is so beautiful. What he wanted is to be able to put in the most dense of the like in the most dense vibration, like in material, like we are the dense. The 3D is the densest. I don't know if that would you would say that of the dimensions. So he wanted to make a plan where he could have the spark of who he is in like the densest of vibration. Not talking about vibration dense as bad, as like a dense, like material. We are bone and skin. So he wanted to create a project to see if he could create a race that could embody everything he is in the densest of the dimensions, which is the 3D. And then from there, start ascending again and going back to him.
Yes.
That plan was hijacked for a little while for dark forces. But that plan, they said like, no more. The plan is going back to the original way, as it should have been. So our mission is to anchor literally heaven on earth.
Yes.
Anchor it through your behavior, your thoughts, your words. Like, why would God say in this moment, just say beautiful things, smile, be grateful, embody that you believe in.
That's right. Let your light shine. Yeah. Well, sister, you're an angel. It's what you are. You really are. You're an angel. You're such I was telling you last time, like, you are ethereal. You are the ether embodiment. And I'm just so thankful to know you. And
thank you so much.
What a gift.
Those words, like, really, to me, there's nothing more fulfilling than to hear someone that has been through the journey and it's, have had something really big happening and healing. That is my sole purpose.
That's amazing.
I'm so happy and I can't wait for more people to come and
same.
I just love humanity and I'm so thankful that you opened the space for me again. And I just want people to know that we're here. Follow us. Send us a DM, and if you're feeling low, send us a DM. We'll find a way to lift you up.
That's right. Sister Lori, thank you so much for coming on. That was such a beautiful episode. And again, thank you for walking me through that beautiful process of the Akashic Records. It was incredible. It was incredible. And I'm excited, everyone, to give away a free reading with Lori. So Here's how to win a free reading, which I highly recommend. And even if you don't win the free one, I still highly recommend working with Lori to do a session. So the first person to message me the seventh person to message me on Instagram with the words Akashic Records. The seventh person to message me on Instagram with the words Akashic Records will get the free reading. Thank you, everyone. Blessings to you. Love and light. Let's keep living. Let's keep standing in our sovereignty, and let's keep going. I'm Lucas Mack, and I'll talk to you on the next episode. Thank you, brothers and sisters, for listening. For support in your journey, go to my website, lucasmack.com.